Donald Trump just signed an executive order today. He was surrounded by young women. Let me see if I have the video of this, because it was really actually very touching. And as a mom of girls, I was really struck by this. All these little girls around him.
Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature, because this is, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have it.
It is a big one. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for all those young women who deserve an equal shot at scholarships, at trophies, awards, and shouldn't have to worry that their record is going to be broken by someone who was born a man and therefore, biologically speaking, and I can't believe I have to go here, but had years in which, while being a boy, had more testosterone, and that leads to more muscle growth, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like, we don't have to go through the numbers, but you've seen some of the stuff. I mean, it's wild, right? When you look at how some of these transgender runners have been able to beat women's records in sports, it's astonishing. And Donald Trump's like, yeah, no, not happening.
So just to finish up, I'm directing the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who, by the way, is doing a fantastic job. In fact, he just left Panama. We're trying to take back the Panama Canal, little things like that. It'll all happen. But Marco is going to make clear to the International Olympic Committees there, and he's going to make it as clear as anybody can make it, that America categorically rejects transgender lunacy. We want them to change everything having to do with the Olympics and having to do with this absolutely ridiculous subject that we even have to talk about this subject. If you went back 10 years or 15 years and you would move forward and listen to this, you'd say, what the hell are they talking about? This is impossible. But you have people out there, Democrats, that are still totally in favor. They can't win the argument. They can't win a debate. They look like fools, and they continue to go on. And it's okay, because as long as they do this and open borders and all of the other things they talk about, transgender everything, all they want to do is transgender and men playing in women's sports and all of these crazy things. And if they continue, I think we're going to end up ultimately, it's not going to matter, because we're never going to go along with them, and we're just going to keep winning elections, right, Mike?
Yeah. Keep winning. Keep on winning. They don't have a clue. They are so far gone and so far out in left field. You had a group of transgenders the other night in New York City, and they led the protest, somebody who was formerly clearly a man, dressed as a woman, leading this protest because young children would no longer have access to surgeries. I mean, like, we don't let children smoke. We don't let children vape. We don't let children drink. But we're going to allow them to make a life-altering decision at the age of 12 or 13 or 14. Are you kidding me? That's how far gone and nutty these people have become. So no, they're not going to win an election like that. They're in the 0.01% of the population. Most normal people are like, you know what? Those are things that should be decided when you're an adult. Heck, you can't even drink a beer until you're 21, but you can decide to change your gender and get body parts chopped off, not to be too graphic. Riley Gaines said, you know who's going to have a problem with this? Attorney General Letitia James, because Letitia James, again, is standing in defiance of the President of the United States, standing in defiance of the American people. Riley, who herself got beat out by Leah Thomas, who ESPN put up on a pedestal. More on Disney coming in a moment. They're not doing so hot. Again, more on that in a moment. But here's Riley Gaines speaking about Tish James and the problem she's got coming her way, because I'm sorry, you know what? America decided.
Regardless of the availability of federal funding, we write to further remind you of your obligation to comply with New York state law. So it sounds like she's picking and choosing which federal laws to comply with here. What do you think about this, Riley?
Yeah, I think your analysis is correct. When you have an attorney general tell her entire state to not comply with federal law, she is no longer acting as an attorney general. Let's call it what it is. She is an activist at that point, which I don't think this comes as a surprise, considering how she treated President Trump and other issues, of course, over her tenure. But this just shows me that November 5th taught the Democratic Party nothing. The majority of Americans wholeheartedly do not support the gender transitioning of minors. That was made very, very clear at the ballot box. So to continue on with this messaging, to continue to quite honestly, in this case, violate federal law, I believe it shows either their ignorance, maybe their apathy, maybe fighting for a system that rewards those who move to tear it down. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's clear nonetheless that November 5th taught the Democratic Party nothing.
And you got to ask yourself, really and truly, what are they thinking? Like, you can be a pretty empathetic person. You can be a pretty sensitive person. And, I don't think that leads you to, okay, let's have a 12-year-old change their gender. We had a young woman on this program who made that mistake. She changed her gender. She said to me, I'll never, ever be able to breastfeed a baby because of these decisions that were made when I was 12. And the doctors bullied her parents. She was struggling with mental health issues. And the next thing you know, she lost her breasts. And then she woke up and said, you know what, this doesn't make me feel any better. Because you see, to use the Democrats' expression, there's a root cause of the pain that's going on, and it's called mental health in her case. And maybe there's some 0.0001% of the population that really has this condition, okay? I'm not going to dispute that. Well, guess what? They can make that decision for themselves when they're 21 years old. Even give it to them at 18, but some 12-year-old, are you kidding me? And while simultaneously you're gonna leave women in the dust because you're gonna have men that think they're women beating them in athletics? I mean, what is the world coming to? I mean, I consider myself a pretty normal person, but apparently I'm some right-wing nut job according to them, because I just think that, girls' sports should be played by girls, naturally born females, when I say girls. So this is just all messed up. I mean, it's really kind of unbelievable where this keeps going.